Gilbert Scott Heron, 1 L, 2 T's and no I. A singer, spoken word, poet, hip-hop pioneer, and above all an activist, a voice for inequality and injustice in society. And what I love about Gil the most is his music only gets better as he matured, unlike other commercial stars who break through to fame and then try to hang on to what they had. That's not to say it did his career any good, behaving in this way, as Richard Pryor once pointed out.
I'm about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe
they go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool.
A man with a gripe to grind, no compromise with the truth and transparency, searching for truth until the end. And some would say he's the godfather of hip-hop poetry with music, but in the 90s, he had some harsh words to say about rappers, use of words. Like he said himself, I don't know if I could take the blame for rap music. Kind of ambivalent, really. To get an idea of Gil's character, check out a 12-minute of spoken word with the ghetto code ... diddy ... dash. I'd be damned if I know. Just search Gil Scott Heron, the ghetto code. It's a 12-minute rant, but it really kind of sums up his wit and intelligence for me. Being an excellent writer, he got offered a scholarship to the Fieldston School in the Bronx. And when asked how he felt about not having money compared to the other kids, he said, same way as you. You can't afford no limousine, how do you feel? Now, unfortunately, in his 50s, he faced prison a few times and became HIV positive, which inevitably brought a man down, which is why his final album and remix album by Jamie XX is one of the best, as his words come from a place of even more frustration, desperation and wisdom. As the Fairfax New Zealand put it, for all the preaching and warning signs in his work, the last 2 decades of Gil Scott Heron's life to date have seen him succumb to the pressures and demons he has so often warned others about. Let me just read you a quote from his conversation with long-term friend Jamie Bing. You'll find it on YouTube. Just shut up if you ain't gonna work or ain't gonna help. Do not complain about what ain't happening, because you could be doing that. Contribute or shut up. If someone comes to you and asks for help, you can help them. You're supposed to help them. Why wouldn't you? You've been put in that position somehow to be able to help this person, because it takes a lot for someone, anybody, to loan something, to help them, because they need this. You will be helped in your soul by doing it. Your soul needs help. You'll get the thanks from the expressions on these people's faces, the smile when you play a song for them, or you give them an idea they can do something with. So simple and easy, right? But it just doesn't seem to be the world we live in. If you want to hear the voice of a blooming flower versus a flower that's in its autumn years, then check out Pieces of a Man from 1971, and then his posthumous vocal and piano version from around 2007. Both so different, but both equally effective. Here's an interesting fact. His father, Gilbert St. Elmo Heron, was the first black professional football player to ever play for a Scottish football club, Celtic of all teams. In Vice Sports UK and an article by Will McGee, he wrote, by the time the Scott Heron was touring the United Kingdom, fans were turning up to his gigs in Celtic shirts in commemoration of the father who left him behind. And if you're old enough to remember, did you know he did the voiceover for those 90s fizzy drink tango adverts?
You know when you've been tangoed.
So I'm going to talk through my top 10 of Gil Scott Heron, which ranges from 1970 all the way through to his death in 2011. And whatever you think of Gil, he makes you think, and he thinks on a macro scale, the very root of worldly issues that were a problem when he was born, and continue to be a problem to this day. Just like his musical and poet legacy, his words will remain current and pure for many more years to come. So B-Movie is probably my favourite track of his. It's long, but the beat and the bass line just keep you going all the way through it. And of course the words keep you compelled to listen. And the words are still as true today as they were 40 years ago. The Jamie XX version of New York is Killing Me is just so good to me. It's the best work he's done for me. Jamie XX, that is. Shout outs to XL and the Young Turks. Work for Peace just shows the power of words and music, if you all listen. The Vulture just shows off his talent for me. It was when he was really blooming. It's just a voice and a piano that you just can't ignore. More Truth from Gil. Me and the Devil, just listen to it. Epic. We Almost Lost Detroit. This kind of speaks for itself, but Grand Pooba fans, check out the sample. The Running remix by Jamie XX, again, brilliant. Modernising Gil Scott-Heron. Running for change, not running away. Lady Day and John Coltrane, the title kind of speaks for itself. He was a big John Coltrane fan. And he referenced John Coltrane a few times, including this song, and in 94's album Spirits as well. Delta Man, just so reminds me of Down South, Rap-A-Lot Records. I'll Take Care of You, the desperation of a soul that's just never compromised. And like Gil said himself in the song Delta Man, we say many things about the changing aspects of our lives. We say that since change is inevitable, we should direct the change rather than simply continue to go through the change. Unfortunately, many people in power don't like change.